Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This video is probably one of the most exciting videos my channel will ever have because we are doing a full Crescent City series reading vlog. In this video we are reading book 1, 2, and 3. So for the reading vlog portion it is going to be completely spoiler free, so you are good if you have not read these books. But at the end of this video we are doing a full spoiler section where I talk about this entire series and my thoughts, like characters, relationships, plot points, everything. So if you have read these, stick around for that, and I will put the timestamp here of when these spoilers start. Let's hop right in because this was a fun one. Okay. I am so scared, but I am itching to be back in one of Sarah's worlds.
I'm on page 68. I have never been more confused in my life.
I went into this book like completely blind, not knowing anything, but what just happened? I'm like, what? I have an update for you guys. I feel like this is my first time really talking about this book because I feel like now that I'm on page... Wait, why do I feel like that was like a sleigh how I like opened that?
I feel like now...
Anyway, now that I'm on page like 100 something, I feel like I finally started to like see kind of like where the story's going and like articulate some thoughts, because before I'm like, I can't even like form a thought about this book because I have no clue what's happening. I went into this book not knowing much about it, and I did read the back of this book and got that it was like a murder mystery thing, but like what happened on here on the back, like when it was happening in the book, I was just like so shook because I was like, that was not what I was expecting. Already it's kind of been like twisty turny for me because I went into this so blind. I will say though, I have like no clue. Everyone talks about the ending of this book and I have like literally nothing. I don't know, this is kind of like a weird fantasy book because it's set in like the urban modern world, so they have phones, she does drugs and drinks and goes to clubs and text messages and she texts and makes phone calls and emails. It's so weird reading a fantasy in like a modern world, and honestly I don't know how much I like it because it just feels like confusing and kind of like off. I'm not gonna say I'm like fully understanding this book because there's some parts I just like zone out and I'm like, what is even going on? But I do feel like I understand the gist of it and kind of like the world and politics. I set a goal for myself to get to page 300 today. I'm on page 115. I'm really hoping it could happen. I'm really like into audiobooks right now. 1, Spotify doesn't have the audiobook for this. 2, I only listen to audiobooks on Spotify or Libby because they're free there. I've never like paid for one, which I definitely could do that, but I feel like this book I would just get so confused because a lot of times with audiobooks I zone out or don't fully comprehend but like love them to death. So with this one I feel like I should not do that, even though I really want to. Also, it's not even on Spotify, and I feel like if I tried to get this on Libby, the hold would probably be for the next like year, because with the third one coming out I guarantee everyone like wants this. Actually, let's look how long the hold is for this book. We will look for the ebook and the audiobook. I'm gonna say there's 20 people in line for each one. Yeah, 16 weeks, 39 people waiting. That's insane. Oh, do they not even have the audiobook? I don't think mine has the audiobook. I can't even get the audiobook on my Libby. That's okay though, because this is gonna hopefully make me understand it more. This book, like when I'm reading it I'm into it, but I put it down and I'm like, don't really have any desire to pick it up again. But I'm gonna force myself to because I love Sarah J Maas. She just never fails to write baddie girls. Like, I love how every time you like aren't clued into what the character's doing and you're like led to believe that she's like doesn't have a plan, but then like 2 pages later the character is like, oh yeah, this happened, I did this and this, like slay. Okay, I'm on page 268. It's going good. I'm definitely like into the story now and invested in the characters. It doesn't really feel like a fantasy book though, because it's just like kind of like a murder mystery, so there's not like a ton happening, like stuff is happening, but it's just like them working to solve the murder mysteries. So I have no clue like what like the big fantasy aspect at the end of this is, but yeah, it's going good. That's all I got. Like I don't have much to say because it's been like pretty much the same thing, like them just investigating the mystery, but there's some things that work. I have like some theories in my head, but we'll see. I made it to page 303, chapter 30, so I hit my goal. Here is a progress report. I'm like a third of the way done probably. I'm really enjoying this, honestly. It's definitely sitting at my least favorite of Sarah J Maas's worlds, but that could all change. I'm excited to read tomorrow. I want to keep reading, but like I have to go to bed. I thought I'd update. I'm on page 370. I just hit part 3. It's still like the same. They're still looking for who's behind it, who done it, so I can't really update much. Like I don't have much to say. I'm liking the characters, and to me it's not really that boring. I mean, I still like, I'm not like loving it, but I'm still really interested in the story. I think I'm like finally like 50% through. That's my update. I'm also liking the romance in this. There's just a cute scene. I don't really know like if the romance is much in this book, since there is like 2 other books. Update. I made it to page 548. I really want to finish it tomorrow, but like that's a stretch. I came on here with something to say. I was gonna say something, but I forgot, but it's going good. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like the story's definitely picking up. I have some theories, and I'm interested to see like what I have kind of in my brain is true or not. I have no clue. So yeah, that's all I got. This man. So wound up right now. The book just got absolutely crazy. I have to finish this. On page 616. Gotta go read. Okay, I knew something was up with this, but I didn't think it was this. I don't know if I can read this. Why is no one helping them? I don't... Done. It's been maybe 30 minutes. Okay, so I felt pretty good with Crescent City, like understanding it. Like I felt really good actually, and I was surprised. But I'm watching Carrie Can Read's like explanation of it still, because I heard House of Sky and Breath gets like more complicated, so I want to be like fully ready and also just like relive the story. I just got whiplash from the first 4 chapters of this book. Okay, so for House of Sky and Breath, it's like a new character has entered the chat, and the whole like, I guess his presence is very interesting, and I feel like this book is gonna be like really action-packed, even though like I have no clue like where it's going and like what the plot point is. Oh my, this one's just crazy and I'm loving it, but it's starting to get to the point where there's just so many names, and I'm like, no, when I get to the 3rd one it's gonna be confusing. I started keeping a list of who's who, but like half of them are blank, like I just have a name and I don't know who they are. I'm on page 180. Who is this? I want to Google it, but like then it'll spoil. I can't get up, I'm sorry guys. But when I first started this book and like the first like 50 pages, I was like, this is gonna be hard to get into. Nothing was really happening. It was like kind of confusing. Like I didn't know where the plot was going. But now that I'm like into it, it is so good. Like so good. Like giving favorite book of the year and we're in January vibes. No, I haven't moved all day. I'm on page 240. I just have to say I love these characters with all of my heart. They are so good and the found family is so good. Tell me why the guy in this listens to audiobooks while working out. I mean, what more could you ask for? He's bae. I don't know what's going on right now. Whoa. No. What the heck is going on? What? I don't even know. I'm on page 423 and our main girl in this is just such a baddie. Like this one character was like telling this story, like trying to be like threatening, and she's like, awesome story, dude. I love her. At first I was like, this is gonna be like my least favorite series of Sarah J Maas's, but like it's tied for first with the other two. Because I can't pick a favorite. I'm sorry. Okay, I just hit part 3, I think it was. Page 540, and I'm at the point where I'm starting to get confused. Like I just don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, this one has been like fully action-packed. Like there's always something going on or like stuff happening, but I feel like in the first one like it wasn't as action-packed, but this one, since it is more action-packed, it's a little more confusing but still going really good. It's time to finish the book. I have 150 pages left. I'm not moving till I finish it. I kind of got it spoiled for me. If I wouldn't have seen that, I think I would have genuinely died. Like, I've read the comments on that post and everyone's either mad that she spoiled it or mad that people are mad that it was spoiled. To the people who are mad at the people who say they got it spoiled, like, they're like, you should have read it sooner, it's been out for so long. I'm like, maybe they just got into reading, maybe they just got around to these books, maybe they just got into fantasy. Like, why are you saying that? But it's okay because like I'm still like so invested now with the ending that I don't care. But it just kind of sucks because I know I would have been like on the floor literally like screaming, crying if I would have read that. But it's okay because I still loved the book. 'Twas the day before, the biggest day of the year. I'm doing homework. I feel like I understood, what is it, Hasab? House of Sky and Breath, pretty good, but I just want to relive it and be so ready for tomorrow. I'm now entering hibernation until I finish this book. TTYL. I'm just kidding. But, of course, I'm wearing Bat Boys. It's a Sarah J Maas release and this is my Sarah J Maas merch. Oh my god. I am not reading the synopsis. I genuinely don't know if I can do this. I'm also in a book slump, so this is definitely not gonna help it because this is gonna like kill me maybe. It's going good so far. Ignore my bookmark, it's literally my jelly cat. Oh gosh, so far we're not like too deep into the plot. Obviously someone on page like 30, but it's really good. There's one POV that I'm definitely more interested in than the others, but everything's still so good. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite characters is in like they're in a situation, and oh god. I'm on page 62, and in this like whole series there's just so many characters and names in this book. So far we're getting like 4 kind of perspectives about like, not like just 4 characters, but like 4 main like different storylines, I guess. And the one I'm reading right now is just like, it's like so sad and like kind of hard to read because it's like I can't imagine going through what they're going through. There's definitely one that I'm like really intrigued in, and it seems to be getting dragged out a lot, but like as it should. There's just so much that needs to happen in this book, and I don't know. Look at literally using my jelly cat as a bookmark. Too real. But so I tried to plan it out so today I could just read this book all day, but you know, life happens. That doesn't always happen. So I have like 2 more hours of reading, and then I have to go to school, which I didn't have to go today, but there's like a meeting thing I have to go to now, and I have to do some work after that, and then read again for a couple hours, and then work again. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hoping to finish it by tomorrow, by Wednesday night. I don't know though. I really want to, because I always try and get like my reading vlogs, like new releases up so quick, because I just can't not. We'll see. This has been like so good so far, and it's not like been confusing yet because nothing super new has been introduced politic wise. Like everything that's been introduced is like easily understandable, but like where we're at right now, I'm just like, oh, like y'all need to like figure this out because it's stressing me out. I feel like always, I still need to read this page, but like always at the end of like a chapter or like end of like a POV, something happens. I'm like kind of confused though, because they were like, someone like was there and I don't know who it was. Girl, what the heck? Hold up. There's just so much in the works. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I've been reading since like 7:30, 7:25-ish. It's now 9. I'm on page 104. We're getting somewhere, guys. My boy! Ooh. Ooh. Oh, this is a bad idea. There's gotta be more to it than what's on the table. There's gotta be a catch. There's gotta be. Well, that's all I can say. Unless you stay for the spoiler section at the end of the video. This always has a catch. I mean, just how her brain works is insane. Like, how does Sarah come up with this stuff? How does everything tie in together? Like, what? We're getting like a massive history, like politic dump right now, and it's kind of like, whoop. I'm hoping at the end we go for like a little, like the main characters like explain it to me better, or like are explaining it to someone else, like / me. Okay, it is now like 10:45. I have to leave. I'll hopefully be home at like 1. Like that is the goal. Like if I'm not home by 1, I'm gonna be pissed because I want to read this book. But I feel like I ended at a good point because I ended after this like massive information dump. Well, I think it's like still continuing, but like the main dump just happened. So I'm like not too motivated to pick it up because it was like phone call. The most disturbing thing ever. And then this happens. Oh. They're done. They're literally full. Well, literally just figured something out that has been like a big question mark since the first book. So this is kind of crazy, but it does make sense. So much is happening right now. It's one of those moments where she had a plan all along and you find out about it 30 pages later. Things are looking good. Girl. What? This girl's just a big question mark. What the? Page 355. Kindle now because I somehow managed to get a copy from Libby because I just had the app open like all day because I was like gonna try and get, I thought that I'd be able to get the audiobook but I couldn't, so I got the ebook. But I just had the tab open and I happened to look and it said borrow and I borrowed. But I'm on page 443 and the POV we're in right now, it's a mess. It's a disaster. Like what they are trying to do is idiotic. Bad ideas. What? This has been like a question mark the whole series and like kind of brought up, but what the hell? Oh my gosh. This is whack. I'm like kind of confused though because I don't know who's who. Like who is this talking right now? Bryce is just so funny in these books. Like something like so serious will be going on and someone will say something to her and she'll just make a joke out of it. Like someone said something about her smell or something and she's like, my new deodorant, do you like it? Or something like that. Like just like funny comebacks that like are always like have to do with like the modern world type thing, and it's so funny. I'm on page 555, 67%, and it's going pretty good. It's not like super interesting right now. Like where they're at's like a different setting and it's kind of weird, but there's a lot happening, a lot that needs to happen. I feel like one plot point especially has some more wrapping up to do, so we will see. Okay, I made it to page 572 and I was reading on my Kindle, but my Kindle's gonna die and I have to leave, so I'm gonna read on my phone while I'm gone. But I was like, oh my gosh, I still have like so much to go. But then I moved my bookmark in my book. Okay, we are making progress. This book, it's going good. There's still a lot that needs to happen and I'm kind of nervous. But where I just stopped right now, things are looking very good. Things are looking good. I'm gonna charge my Kindle, read on my phone while I'm gone, and then we'll get back. I have to finish this book today, like genuinely have to, because I need to stop putting off all of my responsibilities to read. I mean, like what? That was crazy. That was literally insane. We're at the point where everything's getting super action-packed. You know that plot point earlier that I said like more needs to happen? Things are starting to roll again. Bryce, honey, this is a little rough. We'll have to feel it even for you. Bad idea. Honey, if we don't get a POV with this, it's just something after something right now. Now, what just happened? So sad and upsetting. One character is getting some closure now, which is good, but I don't know how this is gonna go. Do I look rough because I just got my hopes and dreams crushed? I'm doing great, thank you. Okay, I'm on page 746. I have just under 100 pages left. We're at a point where it's like gonna get confusing and like a lot's gonna happen. I still have like 20 pages left, but this is giving epilogue, so I'm a little scared. I just changed my mind that I'm also going to talk about the other books in the series too, because I feel like I didn't. Miss Crescent City. This book, I really liked this one. I will say this is probably the least action-packed one and maybe my least favorite of the series, but I feel like you learn a lot of information in this book that is pretty important for the rest of the series, so it is still a great book. You really become attached to the characters. Like, I love these characters so much. So this book I still really enjoyed, and I just feel like it was a good stepping stone for the rest of the story. There were some things that were kind of fringy since it is set in like the modern world. It's obviously like, you know. Overall, I really loved it. There's so many characters in this book specifically that you love and just get a lot more of in this one than the other books. So I really liked that, and I love this one so much. And there's one character in this book specifically who's like a bigger part of the story that I love so much. This is just like kind of a murder mystery, honestly. Don't go into this thinking it's gonna be super action-packed. There is a good amount that happens and works the way up to happening, but this book overall is just a fantasy murder mystery. But I still really loved it. And then we have House of Sky and Breath. This one, it might be my favorite out of the series. I don't know. To me, this one just got 10 times more addicting and interesting to read. I don't know. I just felt like we got a lot more perspectives in this book that I really, really enjoyed and got to know more characters. Again, there were some things that were annoying in this book. The main relationship did kind of annoy me at some points, but overall, love them. The ending that everyone talks about, I got it spoiled for me. Well, it wasn't necessarily fully spoiled, but I saw something and then I put two and two together and I knew it was happening. But without that, definitely go in this blind. Like, you will not see that ending coming a mile away. So I totally recommend going in this blind and avoiding all spoilers possible. And if you haven't read this yet, I recommend doing it now, because with the third book being out now, I feel like spoilers are going to be even harder to avoid. I really, really enjoyed this one. I feel like you learn a lot more about the characters and the plot really develops in this one. It did get kind of confusing, but not to a sense where it like impacted my reading experience. I did really enjoy it and actually felt like I had a good understanding of this book. And I think that is all I have to say. Okay guys, I have finished the book. I feel like this is one that I just need to sit and talk about. I will say I am slightly disappointed. It was still an incredible book and a 5-star read. I honestly was just dealing with some personal stuff while reading this book. I mean, literally, like, look at my face, like, you can tell. But I feel like if that wouldn't have been happening, I would probably like be in tears just loving this book so much. But it is still a 5-star read. I love this series so much, and just anything Sarah writes. With this book specifically, it did let me down just a little bit because I was really hoping to get more of certain characters, and I just felt like it was kind of set up in a way that there should have been stuff about them in this book, but it was just not as in-depth as I would have liked, which is fine. I also feel like there are still some questions I have. Like, there's at least 2 characters I can think of them just like, we still need more on them. Like, what happened, and just more background information too, I feel like, on some characters would be nice. But with that, I'm not sure if there will be other books or novellas. There very well could be. Overall, I love this book. I was really nervous going into this book that it would be really plot heavy and politic heavy, but to be honest, the second one is definitely probably the most politic heavy. So this one wasn't even that bad, and I felt really confident with my understandings. There's like just a lot of names in this whole series that you have to kind of know or be able to like infer who it is, basically. But yeah, that is my thoughts on this book. Overall, a great experience. I definitely recommend this series, and And I would say that going into it, I was just really scared because I felt like everyone kind of hyped up how intense it was and just how confusing. But to me personally, it wasn't terrible. And I definitely recommend watching Carrie Can Read's breakdowns of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more like series reading vlogs, let me know down below and just let me know what other videos you want to see and I would love to make them for you. I'll see you guys next week. Whoa, I was gonna say peace, but I did a thumbs up. Peace? Hello and welcome to the spoiler section of today's video. With that said, if you have not read these books and don't want it spoiled for you, exit. Exit the building. Leave a like on your way out. I'll put it in the spoiler section. So Ethan, Therion, Dylan, the whole gang is trying to get out of the Viper Queen's area because they want to go save Rune and them, right? So the Viper Queen's like, one fight. You, whatever I pick, if you win, y'all can leave and Therion's free. There's obviously gonna be a catch. There has to be. It's the fucking Viper Queen. Ethan goes, fuck. He should have brought Mark with him. Oh my god, did I call him Dylan? Declan's boyfriend. Fuck, he should have brought Mark with him. Or Mars, I don't know. I can't believe I called Declan Dylan. Anyways. So we are going full spoiler here. So if you catch a whiff of something, I warned you. Take it off my record. Crescent City. This damn book. I feel like I really liked this one, honestly. The whole thing with Danica was really interesting, how that kind of happened and evolved and how she was still a part of this story even though she was like in the grave. There are just some parts of this world that I loved so much. It was like kind of cringy at some points, like with phones and everything. I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like in the third book when they just finish a battle and they instantly pull out their phones and start texting each other, I'm like, guys, that's a little much. But I really did like the world of this, like the freaking otters. The freaking otters! I mean, they're adorable and I want one. Like, give me a stuffed animal one right now. I'll pay anything. Just the idea of that I thought was so creative, and I really liked how she added like little cute elements like that, like the jelly jubilees. I thought that was cute because then at the end of this, when the Pegasus, you know what I'm saying, were real, and she was like, jelly jubilees real. I just felt really wholesome about that, honestly. This whole series, to me, I really enjoyed it. I loved all of the characters so much. Therion, I love him so much. I will say I didn't love him as much in the third book because he kind of got involved with some stuff. With the Viper Queen, with the Ocean Queen, with the River Queen, with literally everything. But I did really respect what he did with Flynn's sister. Okay, can we just talk about Flynn for a minute? He is kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie. Carrie Can Read said this in one of her videos, that he was just like pointless kind of. And then that really just opened my eyes and realized that he was. But then in this book, I see his point because of his sister, and with the king in that world, I already forgot what it's called, Avalon? I don't know. I did feel like there was just some loose threads in this series. The entire time it was hinted at that Fury was just like this like out of the world creature, like she was like such a baddie, but we never really learned like what she was or did, and I was really intrigued by that the entire time. Also the dragon Ariadne, Therion found her, but then, you know what I mean, nothing really came of it. Sigrid, the wolf that Ethan like resurrected or tried to, I was kind of skimming at the end of this, I'm not gonna lie, because battle scenes, I just can't do it. But I feel like there's definitely some open ends there. I feel like there will be probably another book, a novella, I don't know. This book's ending, the ACOTAR crossover, I was kind of disappointed with how it was executed in House of Flame and Shadow, because I was honestly expecting to get some of Rhysand and Feyre, which is what I really wanted because I loved the characters, but I do think that Nesta and Bryce really kind of clicked and like would be friends. And I also do understand it because since the last book in the ACOTAR series that came out was Silver Flame's Nesta's book, that this would be more about her, because I feel like Feyre's story is kind of wrapped up. But I was really hoping we would have seen like Feyre and the baby, because there was just one mention in here of Rhys I said Rhys, Jesus Christ, of Rhys being like an overprotective dad, but that was it. Like, we just got mentioned that the baby was there, but not any detail, which, whatever. I think that is all that I'm gonna say for this one. If you're gonna comment a spoiler, just put a warning here and I'll try and comment back about it. But yeah, those are most of my thoughts on this series. I should have like kind of wrote down talking points, but I just really am unwell. so I didn't do it. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know. Oh wait, I already did an outro. Bye!